Hello. I hope you're surviving the apocalypse out there, in here, or wherever the hell we are. I channeled some messages before I turned on the camera. I heard the song Dear Mama. Like, I have a strong feeling that I'm speaking to a mother who's grieving. Dear Mama, Mama don't cry, your baby boy's doing good because my homies, they in heaven and they ain't got hoods. I don't know. So I'm hearing Dear Mama by Tupac, and then Imagine Dragons, I'll do whatever it takes. I feel the adrenaline because it's in my veins. And then I heard this Eminem song, I think it's called Haley, and it said, the verse that came to me, it was, I love my daughter more than life itself. Inside it drives me crazy. I feel like the world is on my shoulders, like the world's almost over, and everyone's leaning on me. And then I pulled some cards, and the cards really verified a feeling of isolation. The first card that came through is No Place Like Home. So we've got the number 50, and you see this house just sitting up in the clouds, but it's shining light through the doors. So it's like I saw a mother inside of the home, empty, waiting for her children to return. And then so it went from 50 to 52. And then I saw these two beings mending each other. So this card's about healing. So these kids really stood out to me, like literally kids. They're fairies. So it's like it could be a mother with two children that have left the nest. And then you've got the thinking card, 44, which is like strategizing, creating a plan with building blocks, 28, which is about foundation, creating a foundation and building. I think that there's a major grief here. I pulled the Sun, Aquarius, and Virgo. So very, very nurturing, giving energy. We literally got the mother. So Virgo being the mother, and then Aquarius, the giver of emotions, the water bearer, the Sun. So this could be a male child, but it could also be like what revolves around, right? Everything revolves around the Sun. So it's like, I'm kind of seeing your life revolved around your children. This is how you created, this is the picture you painted to be a mother. You came here to be a mom, and things have not really been how you pictured them to be lately. You feel very alone and isolated. And the curse card here is really speaking to me about in our DNA that we carry a lot of stories and fables that our ancestors and our genetics carry on through our DNA, you know, codes that maybe don't belong to us personally, but they do within our family origins. So there's something maybe that you're telling yourself that maybe doesn't actually correspond or resonate with reality. You know what I'm saying? The Serpent card also came out, the Drum, and the Jaguar. So I got a lot of cards here. The Jaguar is really speaking to me about things that are hidden and maybe not truly seen. And that's number 28. We've got 46, 14, and 15. And then I also have the Death card, which is 13. So I'm even seeing teenagers. So this could have been something that started with teenagers, or is about teenagers, or maybe it started when you were a teenager. But there's a call, like you're sending out a call, and I'm talking about like deep into your soul, which is funny that I have this shirt with this like hole right here, because I'm seeing like this deep, deep pain that only probably a mother could feel of loss, you know, like the last thing you would ever imagine as a mom would be to lose your child. And sometimes it's not physical, but we do have the death card here. So if I'm speaking to anyone who has physically lost a child, my God, I can't imagine how that feels. And I'm so sorry if that's what you're going through. But definitely losing a child either in the physical, or maybe your child's out in the world doing things that they're not coming home in some way. And this is really hurting you. So I want to pull some tarot because I want to say the reason I was called here is maybe to help with some direction, because sometimes we get very blocked by pain and by grief and by sadness. Sometimes we give ourselves completely to our children in ways that take from, there's something here. The first message, the first tarot card that has come out is the Four of Swords, and this one's really about healing. So this one's about needing to recover. There's a need to recover from. So I'm hearing karma, like there's some sort of past life issue with your children. So this card's showing me the child of yours is dealing with law. It could be legal issues, but I'm really seeing it as soul karma, debt, soul issues. Like they came here to really work out that debt. And sometimes that can manifest in the physical reality as like literally the law, legal problems. You got another ending card, the World. So something really came to an ending here. And you're waiting for something to come towards you, and you got the Sun again. So maybe you're waiting on positive news about your child. Maybe that's why, maybe they're in jail or in rehab or recovery of some kind. Maybe they got injured in an accident. Oh my God, this is painful. Okay, what do we do here? The Moon fell out. You know, this is a waiting game. There's something you're waiting on that you don't get to know the ending right away. There's things that are being blocked from you. And I think as a mom, that can feel like theft. You know, you birth this child into the world and you can't access them in some way. I am being guided to recommend a book I'm reading to you about, what's it called? It's called Royal Witches. And it tells about 4 women in history that were literally accused of witchcraft when, let's just go with the first girl. She was 15 years old when her father married her off to a 47-year-old king. She was a great woman and queen and gave this king, she had 10 children, I think 11 births. And by the time she was 43, she was basically had none of her children anymore and was put in prison for accusations of witchcraft, all because of greed and some sort of nonsensical judgment placed on her. And in that kind of time, she had to constantly give up her children to different kingdoms, and no one cared. Like, no one cared as a mother how she felt, because I think one of her daughters were married off at 7. One of her daughters were married off at 9. It's like crazy thinking, because, you know, these kings would be going off to battle and doing their thing in their 30s and 40s sometimes, knowing they're going to die at like 50 years old. But the young women were pawned. You know, it's like a pawn game in the past, how women have been treated. And I think that this is a time where mothers are needing to speak up on their stories, because if we're silent with what's happening to us, how is anyone going to know? And I feel like your story needs to be told. I feel like something about what you've experienced can help someone else. This awakening card is like showing me like someone on their knees, up, looking up to a creator, which you have this creator card as well. Looking up to the creator, which I'm a strong believer, we're the creators of our reality in a fragmented piece. You know, we're a fragment of the creator. So this is your micro world that you've created, but in the macro world, you're seeking outside creator to come in and aid you here, because you're so much in pain that you don't know that you feel you can move on and continue forward. This is so agonizing for you that you're struggling to be strong for your children. Yeah, this is painful. I'm so sorry. Okay. Building and finding ways to calm your heart rate and to be, you know, sometimes when we're angry, we don't know how to channel it, and we end up taking it out on things that maybe that will take the aggression, right? Like sometimes we're so pissed off that something that's not pissed off will just consume that energy for us. And I think here we're trying to find out ways to channel this anger better. And the sun being under the building blocks is like you're trying to rebuild some sort of foundation here, a new life, a new world, without your past life, past world. So you could be in your 50s or in the second half of your life here. Another 4. So a lot of foundation. I think you're really struggling to commit to a path, to a direction, because it seems like you're waiting. I think you're waiting on a judgment, legally or literally. Like, this is what's happening. This is the future of this situation. Something's coming to an end, and you're going to have to create a plan of how to rebuild your future differently than it was in the past. Someone's not coming home, or someone hasn't come home. I really want to pull some cards from the child after this one. So finding out what moves you. Like, who are you? Who are you when someone's not saying, Mom, I need this. Mom, Mommy. Who are you? What do you like to do? What calms you down? What relaxes you? What soothes your soul? Look at that. That's the mother right there. Queen of emotions. Look at her walking endlessly in that ocean at the top, just looking down at the waves. I feel like the ocean could deeply benefit you right now. Just float in the ocean. Swimming. I think you need to go swimming. Swimming would be good. So I'm going to pull some cards from your children, because sometimes if they've passed, it can be really hard to hear what they're trying to say to you, obviously. But if they're still here and they can't maturely communicate or physically communicate in some way, maybe that there's some sort of reason for that. So let's see what your babies or your baby wants to communicate to you. I'm hearing Happy Mother's Day. I love you. What does your baby have to say? I watch you with your family. Interesting. So, could you have started a new family? Sometimes I didn't know what to do. What kid does, right? Besides the thing that hurts Mom, because I support your path. This sounds like a child who I feel like they don't know how to articulate that they support your direction and your future and where you're going without them, because it's so far and separate from where they are. I will show you some signs and synchronicities. I am learning so much from you, and I regret my poor choices. What a message. It sounds like a very hard time for you where you are right now. A time for healing. The ocean, I'm telling you, we need to all spend more time in the ocean. It's bigger than this lifetime, because what I'm learning is, we birth children into this world where we become attached. We're their parent, like we assume that's the tie forever. I have a Scorpio moon. It's hard for me to let go of my kids. I would be like, what? But it sounds like the grief and sorrow that you're in, this is a time and a test for you to, okay, time. So you got temptation, man, lighthearted, carefree time. You were highly thought of. There's that snake again. Be wise in your decisions and slow down as much as you can. A lot of times when we want to force the future, we like want to force the outcome. We end up missing out on opportunities that are waiting for us. And I feel like your kids want you to move on. Okay, so if this is an actual loss of a child, like an actual grieving of a death of a child, I'm seeing that child looking through a timeline where you are happy with another family that you've created. So maybe this is in the future, and there's a man here that makes you happy, but the temptation of wallowing, like I'm seeing a mother willow tree crying and weeping, right? Weeping and sorrow and grief and never wanting to move on because of the betrayal you think you feel towards your children. But your child is saying, I watch you with your family in the future. I watch you with this man, this relationship you've created. And while I don't know if you have more children with this person or if they maybe have children, but there's something about that relationship that will allow you to channel yourself, channel the energy, the nurturing energy of the Virgo and the Aquarius that will help you get through this grief. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But you're allowed to grieve as long as you need to. I think your kids want you to, here or not, they want you to know that they support you. They support your path. They're learning so much from you, whether they told you that or not. You know, kids like to rebel. Kids are just like that. They just like to go against their parents because at some point they got to leave the nest, right? So, do we want one more? I think I want one of these. Yeah. Deep quiet, meditation, and stillness. There we go. Number 11. I love this card. It's probably my favorite card in this deck because it's so abstract. You don't really know what you're looking at besides some sort of form. So I'm almost even seeing the child trying to reach you through a dimensional barrier of some kind, through the spirit world, through divination, through sometimes when sometimes when people are deep into a drug and they surpass grounding and the ability to alchemize, earth, or they don't really stay here, but they go really far mentally. So they're really in the air element, sometimes in the fire because they're self-destructive, sometimes in the water because they're emotionally unstable. There's a lot of things that happen in the realm of drugs superseding like a spiritual path, right? A balanced spiritual path. So I feel like wherever they are, they're sending you this love. They're sending you this. They want you to have courage, and they want you to reach out in meditation. They want you to be curious and open to connecting to yourself deeply spiritually, whatever. They want you to be more in tune with your spiritual side. It's like they're trying to help you because you've helped them in some way. And I think from your perspective, you feel like you failed, but you haven't failed. Again, this is a physical life form one time. Like, this physical body turns back to decay. We are transcendent. We literally keep going. We've already done it. We've been there, done that, done it. There's so much happening that we have to put a whole bunch of energy into one body and say, this is who we are. But your child has a gem of wisdom to share with you, that you're more than that. You're more than just their mom. You're something greater. You're a enlightened, you're a light soul. Literally, like, I'm seeing a lit soul, a soul beyond flesh. You're not just decaying away. You're not just meant to grieve. So I'm being advised to say that you could benefit from fasting and grounding and crying. Like, let the tears out in the ocean. If you could be in the ocean, my gosh, this would be of such benefit. Go dance in the rain. Show your wild side a little bit. And don't feel bad. Don't feel like you're doing anything wrong. 53 again. Oh, we got 50, 52, 53. I thought it was again. 26. So get some community as well. Some people to help you through this. You need support right now. Okay. So that's what I have. I'm so grateful to have shared this space with you, and I'm so sorry for your loss. Thank you.